Hello everybody and welcome to another short series of JavaFX programming. I do apologize that I've not been posting for a while, but I've been very busy with new baby. So that's what's been happening in my life. And so here what I'm going to do with this little short series is that we will just create a JavaFX application which would run with SceneBuilder. So last time, I think the last videos I created was how to install and use SceneBuilder. So now we're just going to create an application which is going to run, which we'll be able to use the SceneBuilder, and we will do. But the interesting thing about this application that we're going to create is that it's going to we're going to create our own two scenes that we can sort of like press a button and jump from one to the other, which is basically the one which is created, or more or less the same principles as the ones which is created with a Maven build. I'll talk maybe about Maven build another time, but for now I'm just wanting to show how to do this with a SceneBuilder, so we can have different fxml documents which can be opened by the SceneBuilder and used. So we are going to go to the Java. As you, if you followed me, I'm just going to say File, New, and we're not going to select Java Project. We're going to go to Others because it is a JavaFX project, and so we're just going to go down to JavaFX project. Next, and here we can just call this one. What shall we call it? Yeah, let's just call it two scenes. Two scenes. Like that. Because we're just going to have just two scenes, this one, and we'll be able to jump from one to the other. We click Next, and here we click Next. Don't click Finish at that point because we need to change the language here to fxml. And that's basically it. File name, sample controller, Java scene layout. That's fine. So we'll just finish creating that application. So now I think we might find that we have some errors in our code still here, because what we need to do is we need to go to two scenes and then do the build path configurations as showed in the very beginning of JavaFX. So we just need to go to libraries, click on modules, add external jars, and we need to just include these famous JavaFX external jars as showed in the first video. So there we go. So this now basically, if we do just give this stage title, because I do like to give my stage titles, dot set title, and we're going to use a string, and we're going to just say scene 1. Let's do scene 1. Let's close those inverted commas so that just so that we have a title here for now. And we do have our XML document here, which is what happens when we create with that language of fxml. And we can also then right click and open with SceneBuilder. There we go. So that's all nicely opened with SceneBuilder. There's nothing in there at the moment, which is all fine. So if we want to create then another scene which we want to run together with this one, so this video we will just create it. We will not yet instantiate the we'll make the buttons and stuff, but we won't instantiate it yet. We'll do that in the next video. So what we need to do is we need to right click on the application and say new. We go to other, and this is where we need a new fxml document which is inside the JavaFX that we've downloaded. So we click next, and now we've got to give it a name, and basically I'm just going to call it scene 2, and we'll just finish it up. So this is very basic. You see there is no control or anything yet. If we look at this one here, scene, sample scene, we do have a controller. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to copy this bit of code here, because we're going to need to have a controller later. And I'm just going to paste it there, and I'm going to rename this as application. And this, actually all I need to do is just do this scene underscore to controller, just so that we've got that all there. And then we can just go straight ahead and add a new class, which is going to be our controller class. So we want to call it this, exactly that. I did not copy and paste that, so let's just go and copy that. So I got it exactly like that. And we go right click on the application, not build path, new, and it's a Java class. And then we're just going to call it scene to controller and finish at that. So now we have our controller, and if we go to our sample controller, which is our first controller, there's basically no difference between the two at the moment. Okay, so what I'm going to do with my first sample FX, I'm going to open that with SceneBuilder. So we go to sample FX, and we're just going to open with SceneBuilder. Waiting for it to load. There we go. And basically what we have is we have a border pane. So I'm just going to go right ahead, and in the border pane I'm just going to drop a VBox, which is right down the bottom in the center. And it's best to do it here, because if you do it here you'll always run into some issues. So there we go, there's our, and then what I'm going to do is going to add some controls. I first want to add a label. Let's just give ourselves some space here. What am I doing? We're going to drag a label into the VBox. Hang on, a bit high now, haven't it? Oops. Controls. Okay, so let's just go down to label, and I'm going to drop it into the VBox. Then we've got our label, and then we're going to grab a button, and we're going to stick that in the VBox, so we've got our button. And then we can sort of like play around with that, which we will do in a minute. So we've got a label, and I'm just going to click on my label there, and here I'm going to change the text. If you want to change the text, you've got to make sure that you actually click on the thing that you need there. So I want the label. I'm going to change the text to first, and let's just call it scene 1. This is our scene 1. Okay, and then this is our button, and I'm just going to say to scene 2, and that should expand all very nicely there. And then I'm going to select my VBox, because what I want here, I want to go to layouts, so open the tab down the bottom with the layouts. I'm going to put some margins in to be fancy, and I like my 10s. I'm just going to add them like so. You see we just created some margins. And then I'm going to add some padding like so. I'm just going to put it in so we have a nice bit of padding. And to create some spacing here, I'm going to do the same. I'm going to say 15, just to be different from the 10. So now we've got a little bit of spacing. This one here, yeah, we can still center that, I think. So let's just go up here. Nope, let's do the VBox, top left, let's just center, alignment, top center. So everything is nicely centered. So that is our scene 1, and that will be our button to go to scene 2. So what is important is now that we save this, and we can close this. And now if we click on this sample FXML, you will see all the things that we've added through the SceneBuilder. So now what I'm going to quickly do the same with scene 2. Do pay attention that we've got an anchor pane. We do not have a border pane like the sample FXML, but I'm not too worried about that. So I'm just going to go straight into our scene 2 fxml, and I'm going to open that one with SceneBuilder. There you go, it just very nicely opens on my other window, which is very handy for when I'm programming. So same thing. This time I'm just going to drop a V-box here in the center-ish, around about there. That did not work very well. You see, that's when you just drop it in there. So I'm just going to Control Z out of there, and I'm going to put it here in the anchor pane now, and we will see that it works better. There we go. So that's in there. Then we're going to go to Controls, and I first want to stick my label in. Yeah, because I want the label to be on the top. You can also stick it. V-box is okay. I just find it a bit difficult with the anchor pane. So let's put the button in. So there we've done exactly the same. This button we can just say back, because that's going to be my back button, and this label is going to say scene 2, because this is going to be scene 2. So I'm just going to be a little bit fancy here, and I'm going to just change the color of our text to something a bit more deserty. Let's say a bit more orangey. I'm going to copy this because I want to have exactly the same for my button. So you copy just this hash code here, which is the color which has been selected. You can see here that our text has changed. So we're just going to go to the button, and we're just going to paste that in there, and then our button is going to be the same text. So we select the V-box like we did before, and we go down to layout, just that one, and in here again I'm going to put some padding, add it like that, and let's just yep, added some padding. Then that's the layout for the V-box. Spacing, that's right, we want 15. There we go. And we want to have that, of course, centered right in the center, so it's all nice and centered. There we go. Good. I'm not going to put border into that, so that's fine. So that's scene 2. So that looks a little bit different from scene 1. So then we're of course going to save this, and we can close SceneBuilder. Click. There we go. Replace editor content, and that all sort of like worked very well. So now this of course is not. If we run our application, we're going to go run as Java application. Then we do have scene 1, and scene 2 does not work currently, but that is what I'm going to do in the other video, pardon me. So the next video we will connect the 2 buttons. There will be some more code in our main, and so on. So I do hope that this was useful, and that you found it a little bit inspiring to, create some more scenes and things. There was a little bit of editing going on there, so that just helps you to sort of like navigate around SceneBuilder. Don't be afraid to play with it. Things go wrong, you always delete, start again, and happy coding.